If someone had told me all of these things before I started my channel, I might have not started because I would have gotten just scared and decided not to even start. So I'm kind of glad that I didn't know everything before I started my channel. And so here are some of the things that I wanted to share with you guys. Oh, and hi, hello, my name is Greentea Sister. In this channel, we talk about relationships advice, some storytelling, I talk about YouTube sometimes, and I also share about my Christian faith. And yeah, we're still at the pretty early stage where I'm like exploring different content, so bear with me. Sorry guys if I don't have like one cohesive theme, but eventually I think I will land on a couple of things that I really want to drill down on and focus on a little bit more. And with that said, let's just go straight into the video where I'm talking about what are some of the things that I'm learning in my YouTube journey. Now, from my short 2-month tenure of being on YouTube, one biggest lesson that I'm learning is that you cannot please everyone. The faster you learn this, the easier your life on YouTube will become. It reminds me of the book, The Courage to be Disliked. This book, I think it was written by a Japanese author, and in that book, he talks about how if you're wanting to do anything meaningful in life, you're going to have haters. That's just the rule of life. Like the more you put yourself out there and the more exposure you have, you're also going to gather people who like you. But on the other side of the coin, you're also going to garner people who may not necessarily appreciate the things that you do. They may have very strong negative feelings towards you or the contents that you create for whatever reason that may be. Not gonna go into the psychology of a hater. If I watch a video as a viewer and I don't like it, I simply don't watch it. I don't feel the need to write down anything hateful. I don't feel the need to spend my energy doing that. One thing that surprised me as someone who has been creating is that there are actually a handful of people who find the time to do that, who find the time to leave really hateful comments. My one video about why I'm choosing to wait until marriage, like it's a personal decision, right? And you'd be surprised how many people has so many things to say about it. It just blows my mind, honestly. Before I started my YouTube journey, I somewhat expected it, but when I first got my first hate comment, like it really affected me the whole day. I was just kind of like, should I stop making videos? And you know, I'm not gonna lie, like we're all humans. It does affect you emotionally. But then I decided to just change my perspective on it. I was like, well, that means I'm somewhat relevant, right? Because if my videos had no impact whatsoever, if like no one was watching, then no one would care to leave whether negative or positive comment. When I started viewing it that way, it didn't matter so much. It does require some level of courage to put your contents out there and be vulnerable and for other people to give you criticisms, right? Because like as much as you can get applaud and as much as you can get positive feedback, when you're putting your contents out there, you're also being exposed to a bunch of different opinions, and some people are just haters. One way that I deal with haters is really just don't give them any energy. Like for me, sometimes I leave the comments. I don't even like delete them or anything. You know, even for such a small channel like mine, like I don't even have 1K subscribers yet. Even then, there are people who hate on my contents and I'm just like, you know what, I'm not gonna react to this. It doesn't even matter, like I don't even know who you are. You're so irrelevant to my life. So that has been helpful to just remind myself it really doesn't matter. You don't have to receive those energy. If it's constructive criticism, yes, definitely respond or take it into heart, or like try to change something about your video, try to change something about, you know, your content quality. But anything other than that, honestly, is your channel. In my opinion, I'm like, dude, if you don't like it, just don't watch it. But if you're gonna watch it, thank you for the views. So the next point that I'm learning is how much work it really is. I had a rough idea before I started of how much work it would be, and I knew that it was going to be some level of hard work and grind, but I had no idea how time consuming making one video can be. Here's the truth, when you're running a YouTube channel, you are a one-man team. Unless you're in like a cushy financial state where you can hire editors or you have other people you're working with in terms of like doing all the research, you know, writing out the script, setting up your studio, filming and editing, all of these things. In the beginning, at least, you're doing all the heavy lifting by yourself. So it can feel really overwhelming. I have like a newfound huge respect for people who work a full-time job and still, you know, upload 1-2 videos a week, because it's definitely not easy. Even releasing 2 videos, I have to very much manage my time wisely and be really disciplined, because for example, if I say I'm gonna upload a video on Saturday, you would think that you can just record and like release the video, upload it the next day, but it takes me at least, I think, somewhere around like 3 days to script, research, go through the whole process pretty much from A to Z. So when you see YouTubers who make it look very easy, it looks easy because they have done the planning part really well so that the execution isn't as difficult. But oftentimes what seems really easy is because they're like veterans at content creation and they've been doing it for years. They're used to, you know, talking to the camera and all of these things, which I believe comes with a lot of practice. I remember my first couple of videos, I would literally sit down and my mind would go blank. And I would film intro for like an hour. It's a learning process for sure. So if you're going to start a new channel, just know that it will require some level of sacrifice. I think one thing that I have sacrificed a little bit is my social life. Just because, you know, when you want to really get serious with something, you're going to have to make sacrifices in some other areas of your life. The next one is planning makes all the difference. When I first started my channel, my first couple of videos, I had a rough idea of what to talk about, and I would write down, you know, bullet points, and I would go straight into shooting right away. And it did work. It worked alright for the first maybe handful of videos, but once I started getting more subscribers and once I started making more videos, I realized quickly that I needed a better system and I actually needed to plan out my videos. So instead of just like having an idea and shooting it right away, what I did was I spent, and I still do, I would block out time on the calendar for like an hour or two where just like simply jotting down and writing out all the video ideas that I want to make. And then I select a couple of videos that I want to make in the next couple of weeks, and I would sit down and actually write out the script. For me, having, you know, like a rough skeleton of a script and planning out my videos has been really, really helpful. So even if you're just starting out and even if you're like a small channel, I highly recommend, you know, spending some time to plan out your contents and plan out that specific video, how you're going to do the intro, how you're going to do the outro, what are some of the main points that you want to go through. At least just having like a rough structure will actually save you a lot of time in the content creation process. All right, so the next point, in my opinion, this is one of the most important points, if not the most important, and a lot of times is, you know, underestimated. It's have a personal deadline. You know, you guys, you can have the best idea in the world, but if you don't share it, if you don't make it, if you don't upload it, no one's gonna know. Can you imagine if Monet didn't paint his paintings, he only produced 2 paintings a year, we would not have what is his most famous piece of art, the water lily ponds. I went to Monet exhibition the other day. It actually left a very lasting impression on me. And it's said that at one point when he created the water lilies pond series, he was producing about 1 painting every other day. Can you imagine? That's like almost 200 paintings in a year. He just went and did it. So here's the thing, especially with something like content creation, nobody's gonna ask you to submit your assignment. You don't have a professor on the back of your head being like, hey, this is due by February 25th. You just have to do it. And it's like a promise to yourself. I told myself I'm gonna do 1 video a week. And for me, there are weeks where I just feel like my video is really crappy. I don't look that good that week. I don't have the best idea, but I still just tell myself I'm still gonna upload it anyways. And guys, it doesn't mean you should be publishing really crappy videos. I mean, still, quality is still important. I'm not saying you should compromise on the quality, but the point is to have some sort of accountability with yourself, to get in the habit of creating. It's getting in the habit of being comfortable with putting yourself out there. Yeah, so definitely have a personal deadline. The last but not least point is simply enjoy the process. I know, it's so obvious, but it's the simple things that we need reminders of. And I'm reminding myself of this as much as I'm reminding to you. Whether you are thinking of starting this journey or you have been creating for a while, you know, it's very easy to get caught up in like the grind, trying to get the views, trying to get the subscribers. When you're first starting, like you just really enjoy the process. I remember when I had like less than 50 subscribers, I didn't really care about the number. I was like, this is so much fun. I can't believe there's 50 people who are willing to watch me talk online. And now that I have a little over 800 subscribers, I feel a little nervous. I'm like, oh, can I say this? Can I say that? Because now there's more people watching. But I still want to be able to enjoy what I do. I still want to just be myself, be my authentic self, and bring my best version to my videos, but also never to forget to enjoy the process. And also at the end of the day, you know, we're all gonna die. If you look at things from that perspective, things can get pretty dark, but actually it brings me comfort to think that none of this is gonna matter. And in 70 years, all of these will be irrelevant. But what remains is my excitement. What remains is my enthusiasm. I think at the end of the day, even if you don't have as many subscribers as you wish, or your video doesn't get as many views, I know it may be really hard in the moment, but did you enjoy making the video? Did you learn something in the process? Are you growing as a person by doing so? Well, then that's good enough. Honestly, that's really good enough. We live in a world where everything is numerical. Everything is measured by how successful they are, how many things you sell, how many people watch your videos, how much money you make. Like, all of these things are practical. There's nothing wrong with those numerical metrics and values, but at the end of the day, you also need to enjoy the process. I believe that the more you enjoy doing something, the better chance that you have at it. Just remember like why you started. Know your vision, know the core, the crux of your channel. Like, why are you even creating these videos? If your goal was to simply just make money and you're not monetized, you're gonna be miserable. But if you have like a bigger mission, bigger goal, you're always going to have that drive to continue. So last but not least, trust the process. Enjoy every single day. Do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow has its own problems. For any one of you guys who needed that reminder, don't worry, just give it your best and keep going. Trust the process. Alright, if you've stuck around this far in the video, thank you. I appreciate every single one of you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!